X-Men in Marvel, secrets revealed and lies uncovered. Everything that's coming in this new world of mutants. Marvel's new plan for announcing the end of the multiverse. What's happening? What are the upcoming movies? How is this phase of Marvel going to end? Schedule of all the DC series and movies expected for 2025, 26, and 2027. Before we start, comment. So down below, are you excited about these new Marvel movies for this universe? And at the same time, are you pumped for the new DC universe that's starting? Comment below because I want to know. Let's get straight to the news.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Hugh Jackman, the Wolverine, in flesh, bone, and a lot of regeneration. And today I came here to tell you what's going on with the X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know that moment when you think we're finally going to see the mutants in the MCU, and then suddenly you find out there's still a long way to go. Well, I'm going through that right now. But hold on, there's some news. There's a rumor, and there's even a touch of mystery in this whole story. I'm going to tell you everything we already know about the mutants' entry into the MCU. And of course, what is still pure speculation, what is fact. First, the X-Men shouldn't appear in the MCU before Secret Wars. This event is going to be the big moment for reconfiguring the Marvel Multiverse and could pave the way for the arrival of the mutants. I mean, technically, I'm already there, right? But anyway, continuing, the idea is for the Fantastic Four and the X-Men to be integrated without needing a new origin film. After all, no one can stand watching the same character's origin story over and over again. It was like that with Spider-Man, and it's going to be like that with the mutants too. Another confirmed thing is that Michael Leslie is writing the script. Now about the director, release date, and cast. Everything is still in the realm of speculation. There's a rumor that filming will start in 2026 for a release in 2027, but honestly, I think that's too soon. Marvel is going to have the Avengers in full swing. Fitting an X-Men movie into all of this could be complicated. But who am I to question Marvel's schedule, right? Just a guy who's played Wolverine for over 20 years. About the characters, what's being said behind the scenes is that the lineup might be based on X-Men 97. It makes sense since no one wants to see another group of teenagers discovering their powers. The idea is to bring in an already established team with a dynamic similar to that of the animation. Moreover, with the success of X-Men 97, the audience would already be familiar with this version, making the transition to live action easier. Now, about the cast, if you believed all the rumors, you would probably already have a movie poster with 50 different actors. Every day a new name pops up being considered for a role, but look, Marvel doesn't even have a director locked in yet, so picking the cast before that is pretty unlikely. The director always wants to have a say in the casting of the actors, so I doubt anything is set in stone right now. And what about villains? Well, rumors have point to Mr. Sinister. The guy has never appeared in live action. What could be a good reason to finally use him? Plus, since X-Men 97 has already brought the character to the forefront, does it make sense to bring him to the big screen? Magneto would be more interesting as a villain in a second film. Now, hold on. They're saying that Javier Bardem might play Mr. Sinister, but before you start shouting, it's not official. Hold on. Nothing is signed. There was even a rumor about Galactus, and then we saw that it was nothing like that. So it's better to wait for something concrete. And what about Wolverine? That's the question everyone asks me. Am I still in the role? Am I even going to Secret Wars? Am I going to be in this reboot? Honestly, so far nothing is set. If it depends on the fans, I'll be sporting sharp claws until I'm 90 years old. But so far Marvel hasn't made me any official offer to continue after Deadpool and Wolverine, which makes sense because the ideal time for a complete reboot would be after this big multiversal reorganization. What do I think might happen? Marvel can indeed keep some actors from Fox, at least until Secret Wars, but after that, the most logical thing would be a complete reboot. That way they can organize everything right without relying on the old movies. In summary, what is official? We have a screenwriter working on the project, and we know that the X-Men will be one of the cornerstones of the next phase of the MCU. What don't we know? Everything else? Cast, director, story, everything is still in the realm of rumors. Now I'm going to go stretch my muscles because being Wolverine isn't easy. But before you go, do this. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment which mutant you want to see in the MCU. If you don't do that, I'll personally come to your house, sink my claws into your TV, and block all the Marvel movies. Just kidding. Or maybe not. Better not to take the risk.
You won't believe it, but I, Kevin Feige, have a bombshell to share. And this time, it's not one of those announcements made several months before anything actually happens. Marvel Studios has decided to make a turnaround in the multiverse and completely change the direction of some series that were in development. Some have been paused. while others might not even see the light of day. But hold on before you freak out. Thinking your favorite character has been canceled? Let me tell you what's going on and why this is actually great news. I'm going to give you all the details now. Trust me, Cap. Even though I'm not wearing any of the hats from my infinite collection today. Now, before I move on with this revelation, I need to ask one thing. I hate to do this, but if I don't ask, you simply won't subscribe or hit that like button. So, let's go. Click that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you don't do that, I'm going to create a variant of Kang, just to remind you, in all possible realities, that you didn't hit the like button. So, Deadline has confirmed that projects like Nova, Strange Academy, and Terror Inc. are officially paused. And no, that doesn't mean they've been canceled, but rather that Marvel is restructuring its strategy. In the past, we announced everything and only then saw what happened. Now we want to follow a more traditional production model, prioritizing projects that really make sense within the larger MCU plan. And the big reason behind this change is that the Russo brothers are back to direct Avengers, Doomsday, and Avengers Secret Wars. With this new approach, everything that happens in the multiverse needs to be aligned so that the ending be worthy of the hype. It doesn't make sense to throw random series in the mix without any connection to the main arc. That's where the decision comes in to delay or pause some productions until we have a more concrete script. Now, if you were anxious about Nova, hold on, there's still hope. The idea was to follow the story of Richard Rider, taking on the role of a hero after Shandar was destroyed by Thanos. He would rebuild the Nova Corps while facing the threat of the Annihilation Wave, possibly with Sam Alexander involved. Marvel already had some names considered for the cast, such as Austin Butler for the lead role, and Glenn Close and John C. Reilly, reprising their characters from Guardians of the Galaxy. But like everything, it needs to be aligned with the upcoming Avengers, so it seems this story will have to wait a bit. Strange Academy, on the other hand, would have a completely different tone. The idea was something in the style of Harry Potter and Wednesday, with Wong taking on the role of mentor to the young sorceress. But think about it, the guy is going to be overwhelmed with the chaos of the multiverse, fighting against interdimensional villains, and he's still going to have time to teach. It's tough. That's why it makes more sense to hold off on this project until Marvel can give it the right space to shine. And what if you've never heard of horror? Inky, congratulations, you're not alone. This would be a much darker horror project than the usual Marvel standard. The series would follow an anti-hero capable of attaching parts of other people's bodies to his own and absorbing their powers and memories. Yes, it's as bizarre as it sounds. The problem is, it's just that, with all these changes in Marvel's strategy, the project risks never seeing the light of day. But, honestly, I don't know if the Marvel audience is ready for something that dark. In the end, Marvel wants to avoid the mistake of saturation and improve the quality of what reaches you. It's no use throwing a bunch of content out there without planning, just to keep the hype going. We're learning from our mistakes and adjusting the course to ensure that the end of the multiverse saga is truly epic. Now, if you like this explanation and want to see more updates about the MCU, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. If you don't do this, I will personally cut your favorite post-credit scene from the next movie. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Do you believe that 2025 will be the year of redemption for DC? Well, I hope so, because if it isn't, I'm the one who will have to deal with the fallout. I'm going to tell you everything that's coming up, starting with my Superman movie, which will kick off a new cinematic universe, up to the series Lanterns, which mixes heroes and investigation. But will this universe be cohesive and well-structured? Let's find out together. Peter Safran and I are leading this transformation, and the idea is to build a connected universe that appeals to both longtime fans and newcomers. To achieve this, We're focusing on well-developed characters and engaging story, without leaving the action behind. And of course, some projects will continue under the Elseworlds label, like The Batman, which exists outside the main line. Speaking of which, The Batman Part 2. It will start filming in early 2025, but it has already been postponed to October 1st, 2027. Robert Pattinson returns as Batman, and Catwoman and Commissioner Gordon are also expected to come back. The big question is, who will be the villain? Clayface and Two-Face are among the contenders, but since a solo movie for Clayface is in the works, everything could change. Ah, and what about Robin? Who knows? The Lantern series is also coming with a fresh take, set to premiere in 2026. Kyle Chandler will be Hal Jordan and Aaron Pierre will be Jon Stewart. We're going to mix science fiction with a touch of true detective. And there's more. Batman Fillion reprises Guy Gardner. And since he's in Superman 2, the connection between the productions becomes clear. Speaking of connections, Peacemaker is coming back for a second season in August 2025. John Cena will have to deal with the consequences of the first season, and Amanda Waller continues to pull the strings behind the scenes. If you liked the first one, get ready for more humor and craziness. Now, about Superman, which is the kickoff for the new DCU. The movie is scheduled for July 11, 2025. David Corran Stewart will be Superman, and Rachel Brosnahan will be Lois Lantern. Expectations are high, and I know that comparisons with previous versions are going to happen. But this movie needs to work, because it's the one that sets the tone for the entire new universe. The Clayface movie is one of the most intriguing projects. The character has a tragic backstory and huge potential for something visually stunning. The movie is scheduled for September 26, 2026. But the question is, will he be part of the main universe or a prelude to the Batman? We're still figuring it out. Another ambitious project is Superman, Woman of Tomorrow, scheduled for June 26, 2026. The movie will have Fillion, Alcock, as Zor-El and will bring a different take on Superman, focusing on his journey in space before arriving on Earth. The idea is to deliver a science fiction story with drama and a jaw-dropping aesthetic. Now, the Brave and the Bold will introduce a new version of Batman, this time with Damian Wayne as Robin. The inspiration comes from Grant Morrison's comics, and the difference between this Batman and Matt Reeves's will be quite evident. We're still choosing who will play the characters, but the expectations are high. The movie still doesn't have a release date. The Waller series, starring Viola Davis, will take a deep dive into the world of Task Force X. It explores the behind-the-scenes manipulations of the character, and characters from Peacemaker are confirmed in the plot. The release still doesn't have a date. How about a group of heroes that doesn't follow the rules? The Authority is coming, bringing a group with a very unique vision of justice. The movie will be directly linked to Superman, but there's no confirmed date. Finally, the success of The Penguin has led to discussions about a possible second season, but nothing confirmed. If it happens, it will be after The Batman, Part 2. Now the question is, will 2025 be the start of the revolution for DC? Will 2026 keep the same pace? Peter and I are doing our best to make that happen, so let me know in the comments. Which of these productions are you most excited to watch? And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything from the new DCU.